Tonight, we report on a wildfire along Interstate 90 near George and the fire at Inland Tarp in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Well, Amber, the Spuds return from state baseball action. The Apple Sox close out their series with Kelowna, and a fundraiser for former Moses Lake High School standout athlete Brett Mosier is being held tomorrow night. Let's take a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Cooler temperatures are expected, especially for the second half of the work week, and some disturbance along northern parts of our state. How will that impact our area? I will have more details for you in just a bit.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
A wildland fire burning near George spread through 500 acres and continued to grow Monday afternoon. It was between 30 and 40% contained on Monday, but the fire expanded and was moving toward George, jumped Interstate 90, and triggered more evacuations. Firefighters from Grant County and the Bureau of Land Management have crews fighting the fire near I-90 and Silica Road, which began Sunday afternoon. Fire District 3 Chief Don Fortier said no structures were damaged and no injuries were reported. Residents in the Quincy Lakes area were evacuated on Monday afternoon. Deputies and law enforcement went door to door to ask people to leave. The wind-driven fire blew heavy smoke across I-90, forcing police to close the highway and backing up traffic for several miles. The highway was closed again on Monday as the fire spread across the interstate. Traffic sitting on I-90 was told to turn around and leave. High winds on Saturday forced racers off Soap Lake, but the annual Outboard Regatta was in full swing on Sunday with more than 40 racers competing. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
About 40 racers flocked to Soap Lake RV Campground over the weekend for the annual Soap Lake Outboard Regatta. The race was sanctioned by the Seattle Outboard Association. While the race was postponed Saturday because of winds causing choppy water conditions on Soap Lake, Sunday was another story. Several junior racers ages 9 and older sped over smoother waters during the competition. Trey Marquardt of Puyallup was one of the young competitors in the junior category. He races a junior hydro and runabout. The 11-year-old explained what drew him to boat racing.
Well, my dad was racing at first, then my sister started racing, but I didn't really want to race, but then when I saw my sister, I kind of got interested, and I just felt like I needed to do it.
Many other youth racers said they started competition because it's a family tradition. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
A 24-year-old California man died in a Saturday afternoon crash on Road U Northwest near Quincy. Jesus Hernandez de los Santos was driving a 1996 Chevrolet Blazer south on Road U when he reportedly failed to negotiate a turn and drove off the road. His vehicle rolled 3 times and he was thrown from it. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. He was allegedly not wearing his seatbelt. The sheriff's office reported speed and alcohol appeared to be factors in the crash. 5 structures and thousands of tons of hay burned at Inland Tarp and Liner on Friday near Moses Lake. Reporter Joe Utter has more on what caused the massive blaze.
A fire at Inland Tarp and Liner burned 5 structures, caused a propane tank to explode, and led to Interstate 90 closing near Moses Lake on Friday. According to Grant County Sheriff's Office spokesman Kyle Foreman, the blaze reportedly started when employees in one of the buildings were using a chop saw and a spark or hot material got into something combustible. The employees tried to use fire extinguishers to douse the flames, but it grew out of control. The fire spread to 5 structures and caused a propane tank to explode. The tank traveled about 1,000 feet through the air and started a fire in 11 haystacks to the east. Fire crews had the fire in the buildings extinguished by roughly 3 p.m. 4 of the buildings were destroyed and a 5th was badly damaged. Interstate 90 was closed between State Route 17 and Dotson Road for about an hour because of smoke. No injuries were reported in the fire. This is Joe Utter For iFIBER 1 News.
Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.